Hello, this is a re-recording of the presentation given on October 17th and October 18th for the Tidewater Air Monitoring Evaluation Project. To give you a quick overview of what was covered in this meeting, we'll start with a DEQ project update. That will include a brief review of project background, our outreach efforts, an update on our project timeline, and an update on our PurpleAir sensor progress and data. We will also have a separate recording available that covers the Virginia Department of Health's presentation from these meetings. To give you a little bit of background on the project, TAME, or the Tidewater Air Monitoring Evaluation Project, is an EPA grant-funded project to take a look at the air quality in two communities in Hampton Roads, the East End community of Newport News and the Lamberts Point community of Norfolk. Both of these communities are environmental justice communities as defined by the Environmental Justice Act of 2020. This means that these communities need to be meaningfully involved in projects like TAME. Initial meetings were held in both communities in early April 2022 to introduce the project to the community members and to get information about where sensors and monitors should be placed in their community based on their lived experience. Workshops were also held in both communities in July of 2022, and those workshops focused on signage that will go with monitors and sensors in the community, as well as the functionality and usability of PurpleAir sensors that are live on a map for community members to access. Our outreach efforts have included canvassing neighborhoods with flyers. 500 flyers were passed out in each community in advance of the July meeting on foot, and 300 flyers were passed out in each community in advance of the October meeting. We also send out information via our TAME email list updates, and if that's something you would like to sign up for, please reach out as soon as possible and we will get you signed up. We also have been attending community events and celebrations and bringing the TAME project information there. We've also been sharing on our DEQ social media as well as our city partner social media. We hold organizer meetings every other Friday for folks who are interested in asking questions about the project. And we've also held office hours in Lamberts Point. The office hours have not yet been attended. We were holding them on Tuesday evenings, and so we're definitely open to hearing from the community about what time and place would work best for that kind of opportunity. We also want to make sure the community knows that we're interested in what else we can be doing with outreach efforts. If you have ideas or thoughts, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll pass it over to our Air Quality Monitoring Manager, Chuck Turner.
Okay. As Grace said, my name is Chuck Turner. I'm with the Office of Air Quality Monitoring at the Department of Environmental Quality. What you're seeing in front of you right now is projected dates on our next steps in terms of the project. First thing we have to do is we have to complete the Quality Assurance Project Plan for the Environmental Protection Agency. We are working on that now. We hope to get a proposal to both cities in terms of locations of the sites. Then the purchase requisition package will be put together for the contracting work we need to do, specifically the electrical component of installation. And then we hope to begin installation of the monitors in spring of 2023. Next slide, please. So what is a quality assurance project plan? It's required of every project and every pollutant that we perform and monitor for the Environmental Protection Agency. We have already submitted a draft to the Environmental Protection Agency, and they commented on it, and we are incorporating those comments. Plus, we are putting in now the monitor siting and sensor locations to the best of our knowledge at this point. Those were presented in July as far as what we're planning to do relative to the monitor and sensor siting. And we hope to get this to the Environmental Protection Agency in November of 2022. Next slide, please. Yeah, I've just put an example of what a quality assurance project plan looks like. This is a table of contents. Gives you the level and depth of the amount of information that we have to provide to the Environmental Protection Agency. Next slide, please. As you can see, it's a very complicated document.
All right, thanks, Chuck. This is Grace Holmes again, and we wanted to highlight our PurpleAir sensor progress thus far as well. I do want to note that this has been updated since our meeting in October of 2022, and the map here reflects the gaps that we currently have, but I want to add that we have added a second PurpleAir sensor here at the Newsom House Cultural Center and Museum in Newport News. So at this time, we are currently searching for 6 more sensors. This is still a very good representative area of the areas that we're searching for sensors in. And if that's something that you're interested in, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. We are also still searching for PurpleAir sensors in Lamberts Point and Norfolk. 4 PurpleAir sensors have been placed throughout the Lamberts Point community at this time, and we are still searching for 4 more sensor locations within these areas that you see highlighted here. Again, if you have any information or leads about some good spots for these to be sited, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. We also want to highlight that as you are using the PurpleAir map, it is important to note that changing environmental factors can impact air quality throughout the course of a day. Here you see maps displaying the US EPA particulate matter at 2.5 microns air quality index. We have two maps here that display our air quality, and those are displayed up here in the date and time that they were captured. So first we have on October 12th at 8:30 a.m. You can see that the AQI is elevated, and then you can see here later in the day at 1:30 p.m. it's lower. And you can see that this looks like a neighborhood-wide impact as they're all about the same. And we highlight this just to let you know that these are variable throughout the day and can be impacted by lots of different factors within a neighborhood. We also wanted to go through a few frequently asked questions we get about the installation of PurpleAir sensors. So first, the question we get most often is what resources are needed to have a PurpleAir sensor installed? So the 2 things you need to have a PurpleAir sensor installed is a Wi-Fi network without 2-factor authentication and an outdoor power outlet. We also get queries about how much a PurpleAir costs to run in electricity. The PurpleAir sensors cost roughly $1 per year to run in electricity. We also get questions about how long will installation take and how far in advance you need to schedule an install. Installation takes roughly 30 minutes, and we can often schedule an install within a week of your call. Sometimes quicker, but a week is a good estimate, and we can definitely take longer than 30 minutes if you'd like to chat and you have questions, but 30 minutes is a good estimate for how long it'll take us if we're doing it as quickly as possible. And then we also get questions about where PurpleAir sensors can be placed for the TAME project, and they can only be placed in the environmental justice neighborhoods of Lamberts Point and East End. I'm going to pass it back to Chuck Turner.
Yeah, what we have here is some of the information that you can get when you get to the PurpleAir webpage. Several things we need to notice. If you look at the bottom, there is a list of the sites that are included on this plot. Also notice, for example, with the Islamic Center, it says Islamic Center A and Islamic Center B. What that is there's 2 channels in each of the PurpleAir sensors. That is done to make sure that the 2 channels measure approximately the same number. It's a way of telling if the sensor may be starting to fail. So we do have A and B channels on all the PurpleAir sensors. The other thing to note is if you look on the left-hand side, the range of the plot, 0 to 300, and the coloration associated with that, 0 to 50 is green, 50 to 100 is yellow, 100 to 150 is orange, and then 150 to 200 is red. That basically corresponds to the AQI levels that EPA defines as part of the Air Quality Index approach to presenting air quality data. Now, if we look at the plot, you'll note that there is a sense of periodicity in it. And what I mean by that is you can see that it seems to peak in the evening, then the 12 noon it drops down and then peaks again in the next evening. Note that the dates 10 October, 11 October, 12 October represent midnight, and then the 12 is 12 noon. All right, next slide, please. Yeah, we isolated here one of the sites to show you that what can happen with these PurpleAir sensors. You'll note that there are several spikes in the nighttime readings as you look at them. If you look at the 11th of October, for example, seem to be 4 very high spikes. That is generally due to localized things going on. Could be people dropping off students, and there's a lot of car emissions. There could be an outdoor barbecue. Any number of things locally could be causing those spikes. But if you superimpose the overall plot that we had in the previous slide, you'll note that while the form of the plot is the same, it doesn't have those spikes. So those spikes indicate something different happening at that one site that is not reflected in the other sites as well. Next slide, please.
Thanks, Chuck. So to let folks know, our next community update meeting will be held in March of 2023, but that doesn't mean that we're not excited to get out and to connect with the community and spread information about the project. So we would love information about when office hours would be helpful or any other community events or celebrations that it would be helpful for us to attend. Please let us know if there are any other meetings or anything like that. We are definitely interested. And of course, I'll plug one more time. If you know of a good place for a PurpleAir sensor, don't hesitate to let us know. You can see my contact information here and the webpage for the TAME project here. This is an example of a PurpleAir sensor that is up currently, so you get an idea of what it looks like on your porch and about how big it is. Thank you guys so much, and we really appreciate your time.